Happy Transfer Tuesday, the day of the week where we take a look at our finances to see if there's any money moves we can make in a positive direction. I'm hanging out in the basement with Bernard today. Poor guy needs a trim. I was gonna film outside, but the second I stepped out of my car, it started raining. So I went for a short walk in the woods and enjoyed the sound of the rain and came home to film. But it was still beautiful out there. My money moves from the past week centered around my current savings goal, which I am finally saving up for a homestead. And I started this savings last week, actually. So I put $100 in there from the pay from my brother, and then $11.11 that Amy had sent me week before last. And so I started the week with $111.11, and I was able to add more to that thanks to the first two money moves from the last week. And both of these happened last Tuesday on the 19th. The first one was a Venmo notification that Derek had sent me $15, and he said, Homestead Fund. Thank you, Derek, so very much. And then also on the 19th, I got a PayPal notification that Elizabeth had sent me $10, and she said, Happy Homestead Funding, which brought it up to $136.11. Off to a pretty solid start. Thank you guys so very much. And then the next money move was last Wednesday on the 20th. I got a super thanks from Robert. He said, prayers for your kitty to be safe and healthy. Congrats on the Homestead Fund. Keep going. You're gonna knock it out of the park. Thank you so much, Robert. My cat is doing much better, and I have an update about that in just a few minutes. But thank you so much for saying that and for contributing to my YouTube income. That means so very much to me. And speaking of YouTube income, the next day on the 21st, I got my YouTube pay for the month of October, and that was $178.40. And I didn't move that to savings. I'm just hanging on to that because for this month of November, I am trying to cover all of my variable expenses for the month with my side or gig work income. And YouTube is one of those. I've pretty much always saved my YouTube income from day one, but I didn't do that right now, so it's just kind of hanging out in my bank account. YouTube income is treated like royalties, so it's taxed really heavily, I think at 25% or something like that. So always setting some aside for taxes, but it's just hanging out in my account for right now. And then speaking of the update about Piper, my last money move happened. It's not really a money move, but it was a big expense for the month, and it's definitely worth sharing with you guys because it was a big thing that I knew I had coming down the pipeline that I was going to need to cover with that side work income, and that was Piper's follow-up vet visit for her bladder stones that they found like three and a half maybe weeks ago. So she had her follow-up visit, and I thought it was going to cost like $179, I believe, because I knew she needed the office visit and the another x-ray that was $105. But her vet visit yesterday was $151 in total, and the x-ray was still $105, but her visit was classified as a medical follow-up visit instead of, I guess, what last time must have been like an initial assessment visit. So a medical recheck visit is actually a little bit cheaper by about $25 or whatever. So that is less than expected, which was exciting. And the most exciting thing about that, though, of course, is that she doesn't have to go back anymore because she has completely cleared all of her bladder stones. Her bladder wall thickness is back to normal. Stones are completely gone in the three and a half weeks of just switching over to the urinary care diet. And hopefully I've been able to help reduce her stress over the last few weeks. So I'm super excited about that. I don't know if they were just blowing smoke, but they said that was the fastest they've ever seen a cat totally clear their stones. So yay, girl's an overachiever. And I'm so excited. I'm so happy. I'm so relieved for her. Poor little girl. But she's definitely been acting totally back to her normal self lately. So I'm so happy about that. I'm not going to do any more transfers this week just because I am towards the end of a pay week. I get paid in a couple days, so for next week's Transfer Tuesday, I'll have added more to my savings because it's been a busy past week. As you guys probably know, I have been doing things like Instacart and Uber Eats to make a little cash on the side because I'm trying to challenge myself to go do side or gig work or working with my brother to cover all of the variable expenses for this month. So gas, groceries, vet visits, things like that. But I have not done either of those things for over a week now. Last Sunday, I had turned the apps on for a couple hours to see if any grocery deliveries would pop up. It was like 4 p.m.-ish. And I turned on Uber Eats as well. And I waited until about 6 p.m. and nothing popped up for either one of them. And then that was the longest I could wait because then I had to scoot down to Portland Sunday night because I was staying in a hotel for a work conference that happened on Monday and Tuesday, which I didn't know how it was going to go, but it ended up turning out to be really fun, and it was awesome to learn about all of the different things that my company is working on that I had no idea about any of, just because we're all so sparse and remote and we don't ever all collectively get together. So it was neat to learn about all the other things that the company has coming up and all of the opportunities that any of us could choose to work on if we showed interest. So that was really neat and good to know for future information if I ever wanted to transition away from being a fisheries observer, or not away from it, but add other land-based things maybe too, or other at-sea projects. They have so much going on. So that was really cool. They treated us really well. We had a really nice hotel room, and they gave us $29 of per diem for dinner on Sunday evening. And then they catered breakfast and lunch Monday and Tuesday. And then Monday night, they bought everyone happy hour drinks, whatever you wanted, like you can have multiple. And then they took us out to dinner and treated us to dinner and more drinks at dinner. Like they were, very generous, took very good care of us that whole time. And then we were kind of done early Tuesday afternoon. So I had to scoot home for a few hours and grab all my work gear, pack my boat bag, and head back down to Portland because I had a boat trip leaving that night. Unfortunately, I was like 15 minutes away from the dock when the captain called and apologized profusely, but he had to change plans real quick. So I got to the dock at 8 p.m., but the captain didn't end up getting there till almost midnight. So we didn't leave till shortly after midnight, but it's okay. It was like a 30-ish hour trip, so we landed Thursday morning, I don't know, around 6 a.m. It was rough. I was just like, couldn't hold food down the whole time. I didn't sleep, the typical scene. But anyway, I got home Thursday morning and just really rested the rest of the day, and that's because Friday I got up really early and headed to New Hampshire to go visit a friend for the night. Got home Saturday mid-afternoon, and it was just like way too much time in the car and being away from home and away from the cats. So I've just been like trying to calm down from that. That was a big week for me, for this girl that like doesn't see a lot of people, talk to a lot of people from day to day. That was a big week for me. So I've just been resting. Since I've been resting, I have not been making any side or gig work income over the last week and a half, but my W-2 income is definitely way more than my goal for it was this month, which was low, of course. It was a low bar, $650 goal. So it's great on one foot. I'm making a lot more W-2 income than I was really expecting to this month, and some of it was on land, which was awesome. So I will be able to set money aside from savings, since that is the plan for any excess W-2 income. For the most part, will just be going to the Homestead fund as well, since I don't need it to live on, since I am still going to try to do more gig and side work. I was just thinking, I don't even know if at the moment I'm in the negative or the positive. I think I'm still in the positive, but I don't, that's how out of it I am for the last week. I don't even know what the total is. Luckily, Piper's vet visit was less than expected, and Carol like came in and graciously helped me with that huge increase in my, side income last week. So Carol, thank you. I am keeping track. I just need to catch up on any spending I've done on the last week. It's not been much. I have filled my gas tank, just been going to Portland back a couple times, and then over to New Hampshire and back. I have put gas in, and I think I've gotten a small bit of groceries once, but I'm pretty positive I'm still in the positive for the month. Plus the YouTube pay helps a lot. I just need to add it up, figure it out. Make sure I'm staying in the green. There will be some savings next week, but I will see you guys before then so I can update you on the Get Work situation, where the balance is at, and also the tenant situation. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, please feel free to let me know down below what money moves you guys made towards your financial future, and I will see you very soon. Bye.